So you may be wondering how I am reviewing this movie before Thursday night. It's because I went to the AMC Theater little insider access thing for Inside Out, and so I got to see it early. I saw it tonight. I got this cool little lanyard with little inside offer thing, and then I got a cool poster. And I got to see the movie early, before the film even started. They had this little behind the scenes thing at Pixar, which is really neat. Got to see all the offices and the making of Inside Out and all that. And then afterwards there's a Q&A with the director of the film and Amy Poehler, who wastes joy in this film. So that's how I did that. It was a really cool experience, and I really had a fun time with it. So let's talk about the movie now. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my apartment. Now, as I said, I am going to be reviewing the film Inside Out. This is the latest Pixar film from Pixar, Disney, and let's dive into it. What really makes this film unique and makes it stand out is the fact that instead of focusing on just a human character who is going about adolescence, we are focusing on the emotions. The emotions of an 11-year-old girl are personified in these characters. We have anger, we have sadness, we have disgust, we have fear, and we have joy. And they're all very unique and very cool characters. Amy Poehler voices Joy. She does a fantastic job with this upbeat, positive character who's easily the star of the film. You have Phyllis Smith as Sadness. She is basically the opposite of Joy. And these are the two characters who we really focus on for the majority of the film. We have anger, fear, and disgust playing their roles. They're more side characters, more for comedic effect, and it really works really nicely. The main plot of this film, without going into major spoilers, you've probably seen it from the trailer. Something happens in this young girl's life which causes her to change her emotions and change her personality. And then something happens inside to Joy and Sadness and her core memories, which kind of define her personality. And so she starts to go into a depression. And that's what this film is kind of about. Joy and Sadness trying to get back to the main hub of the mind and make Riley a person again. The Joy and Sadness relationship, which is kind of the essence of this film, we see them kind of bounce off each other at the beginning, and then we see them kind of just they're forced to interact with each other throughout the course of this film. And it's really interesting to see how that relationship kind of changes. Joy kind of sees sadness as this useless emotion which never does any good, and it's kind of interesting to see how that works itself out. Richard Kind is also in this film. He's an imaginary friend that Riley had as a kid. He is easily one of the funniest characters in this film and was one of my favorites of the film itself. He's really interesting, comedic, and it really kind of, I think, got to a lot of people in terms of people that had imaginary friends as kids, and kind of the imaginary friend having to cope with not being needed anymore. And it's kind of a cool way that the film tackled that issue. As is always with Pixar, and Disney for that matter, the animation in this film looks fantastic. It is very Pixar-esque, and the characters look flawless, they look fantastic, they're all very unique in terms of the designs and everything like that. The environments look great, the little individual worlds look really, really cool, and I just love the design of this film so much. It's so cool. The music is great as well, kind of adds little bits and pieces to really emotional scenes or really kind of comedic scenes, and so the composer for this film did a great job as well. This is easily one of the more funny films of an animated sort that I've seen in quite a while. The whole theater was just laughing hysterically at some parts, myself included, and it's great when a film can do that, where it's kind of more aimed for kids, but it's got enough adult humor. There's a lot of adult humor, which will probably slide past younger audiences, but it's fantastically hilarious for just adults who can understand the humor, and it works really, really well. And also just a way of visualizing the mind. We have, because there's in the film, there's this control center where the 5 main emotions kind of control everything that you do when you see and you basically put out from your personality. And there's this little memory bank where all the long-term memories are stored. There's a way to get rid of memories that are no longer useful. It's just a really interesting way to look at the mind, and it's really cool how they kind of crafted that and designed it and had different characters that worked with those different areas. I really found that fascinating. This film does, by the end of the film, tug at your heartstrings so many times. It got tears in my eyes multiple times towards the end of this film, just because I'm not going to spoil stuff, but just certain things that happen. It's just so sad. It gets to me, and the sadness emotion in my mind took over. But that's great. I love it when films are able to do that. I'm also kind of a sap for movies, so that's part of it. But I love it when a film can really like tug at those emotions and just relate to me in some capacity to make me feel something. And that's really it. I had no real issues with this movie. It kept my attention for the entire duration of the hour and a half or so that this movie is. I was entertained. I found all the characters to be really hilarious, all really useful. No character was really unnecessary to any degree. They all kind of played their own part. Just seeing kind of how the consequences of what's going on in the mind with the emotions affects Riley as a person. Just a really interesting balance, because you kind of have a back and forth. We get to see emotions in not just Riley, we get to see them in her parents and other bystanders throughout this film too. And that's something that I really enjoyed seeing, because it's not just limited us to one perspective. We get to see multiple perspectives and the different takes on those emotions, and it's kind of a cool thing. But yeah, like I said, I love this film. I had no issues with it. It is fantastic. I definitely say go out and watch this as soon as you possibly can. It is phenomenal. It is great. Easily in my top animated film of the year so far. I don't think I've seen too many that I can recall off the top of my head. But yeah, this one's definitely the lead. I loved it so much. It was really, really good. So, those are my thoughts on Inside Out. Let me know what you thought of the film down in the comments down below. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Once again, if you so choose, I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, my people, my name is Nick Pell. And once again, keep on watching.